On this week's episode of Soup and Stuff, Soup sits down with head coach at Greenville Orange Theory, Victoria Norris. The East Carolina University grad talks her passion behind helping others, her favorite memories doing what she loves, where she sees herself in the future, and everything behind Orange Theory's message of existing to give people a longer, more vibrant life. Welcome to Soup and Stuff.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Soup and Stuff presented by the Pine Room Studios. We have a very special guest today from Greenville, North Carolina, Miss Victoria Norris. Would you like to start off with a serious question or a fun question?
Let's go fun.
Go fun. Okay, you are the mayor of Greenville, North Carolina now. You get to bring one restaurant to the city that is not there right now. What are you bringing?
That's a good question.
You can literally choose anything. And if you don't want to do a restaurant, you can bring like a club or an amusement park, whatever you want to bring to Greenville. You're the mayor.
Restaurant, it would have to be Steak and Shake.
What? I didn't even realize you guys don't have one. I just moved to Greenville 2 months ago. I didn't even realize there isn't one there.
Yeah, no, we do not have one.
Where have you had Steak and Shake that you want to bring one to Greenville?
Where? Did I have one previously? Charlotte, North Carolina.
Got it. So let everyone know, where are you from? And I know you went to ECU for school, and that's where you graduated from. But where did you grow up, and how did you end up in Greenville?
Yeah. So I am from Shelby, North Carolina. It's a small town, about 4.5 hours away from Greenville, an hour away from Charlotte. I spent most of my life there. And then once I started college, ECU brought me to Greenville, East Carolina University.
Nice. What did you, so you are a head coach at the Orange Theory in Greenville. What did you study to kind of get you into everything? Because I know you're an athlete, but how did you kind of get involved with everything you're doing now? What did you study at ECU, and kind of when did you first start with Orange Theory?
Yeah, so actually my bachelor's degree is in public health. Which is not exactly physically related to my certifications now that I'm working with at Orange Theory. I started in nursing, and then I moved into public health because I didn't want to be on the patient side of things, but I still wanted to be health related. And then once I graduated in 2020, it was during the peak of COVID, peak of public health. So it was the perfect time to actually be in the field. But once I graduated, I started working at the Beaufort County Health Department. That's about 30 minutes away from Greenville.
Nice.
And I spent a few months there, but it just was not for me. I liked the job. However, sitting in an office 8 hours a day just got pretty old after 2 months or so. And so I ventured out to Orange Theory. While I was in school, I was supposed to start working there, but it hadn't worked out because I was actually really excited to start working in my field, the public health field. And then once I kind of figured out, okay, well, this isn't for me, this isn't what I enjoy doing, I decided to reach out to Orange Theory again.
Nice.
And they had an opening, and then I started coaching in April 2021.
Will you elaborate? So I've been doing Orange Theory probably for 3 or 4 months. And I thought this, when I first moved down there and I saw how close you guys are, like a family in this Orange Theory, I thought this would be such a cool interview when I first met you, just because I can tell by just meeting you. I know we haven't had these conversations in person yet though, but I can tell you're goal driven. I can tell that you guys run a really good business there, and you with being the head coach. But can you kind of elaborate on what Orange Theory is, and what the classes are made up of, and what everything kind of looks like on a day-to-day basis from your role?
Yeah, thank you. Of course. So Orange Theory is basically a 60-minute workout that is led by a certified personal trainer. It's tracked by science, so you're able to wear a heart rate monitor, see how your heart rate responds to everything that you were doing throughout the class. It's a little bit of cardio, a little bit of strength, and then sometimes endurance, and it could be a mix of all the things. But basically, that's pretty much it.
That's awesome. Do you ever feel like, and I always wanted to ask this, do you ever feel like you're obligated to get a workout in as being a head coach there? Like, are there ever days where you're coaching and you don't get a workout in? Is it the same for you as it is for the other coaches? I've always wanted to ask you guys that.
Yeah, that's a good question. That's a really good question. When I'm coaching, of course, no. If you mean like if I have to come or if I decide to come to the class, do I feel like I have to push myself? Is that what you
Yes,
mean?
yes, all of it.
Yeah. Um, Definitely being a coach, the eyes are on you because you
Yeah,
know everybody, you coach everybody, and it's like, okay, I'm coaching you to do this, so I can't not practice what I preach. But also, I think it's normal for us to pull back. Like if we need to take a green day, at the same time, like no one really knows how many classes us coaches take a week because
yeah,
we get different times. So if somebody's taking like 4 classes a week and they come on their 5th day, I don't think I don't feel pressured to maybe take it easier,
good,
especially if I let the coach know.
good.
It's all good vibes in there, but sometimes, yes.
That's awesome. Do you ever and I kind of want to see where you have a great degree from a really good school. What are your goals with Orange Theory? Like, is there an opportunity to keep moving up and kind of start your own, or is there an opportunity for you to get into like the management side of it? Because obviously you're young, you're driven, great degree, like athlete. Like I feel like you fit the bill perfect for this situation. So, kind of, what are your goals as a trainer and with Orange Theory?
Yeah, thank you very much. That's a good question as well. So there are definitely opportunities to grow within the franchise and also within the company. If I wanted to, I could always kind of reach out to headquarters back in Florida, which is going to be the corporate side of thing, but also I could possibly grow within the franchise. The step ahead of me would be regionally. Leading everybody. So that's basically all the studios within our franchise. There are multiple head coaches that are a little bit more tenure than me. So, I mean, I'm just kind of in it because I love it. I think right now I do have goals to eventually move up.
Yeah,
But I think right now I'm just going with the flow,
that's
feeling it
awesome.
out, learning, getting the experience, and then slowly going to build up,
Yeah, great.
retire.
I heard you, and I was miserable in a class probably like 3 weeks ago. Um, I heard you say something about Goggins. Have you read any of his books, or have you followed him on social media? I want to know for you to mention him during a class like that. I just read one of his books, and it made me think. I was like, I wonder if she has read any of his stuff, or if she's just seen his videos. But what do you know about him, and kind of what helps motivate you?
Yeah, even better question. You're killing it. So I have not read any of his books, but I have watched a good amount of his videos, listened to a few of his podcasts that he kind of features on. He is very inspiring, motivational, driven, all of the things that someone that is running a mile benchmark should kind of
Yeah,
embrace during that time, you know? And for the time that I mentioned it, what I was trying to push Adam, which that is his motivator, that he's read tons of books by
awesome.
him, and I know that he aspires to be somewhat like him. So I was just trying to get him to step into a little Goggins
Yeah.
power to push him through his last few minutes of that benchmark because it was tough.
Yeah, I played college baseball, and a lot of my best friends still work out and run and all that stuff. From you coaching, do you feel like there's a perfect mixture of going to lift a certain amount of times each week and a perfect mixture of running each week? Because I feel like the Orange Theory classes are so much cardio, and you have the opportunity to lift like during them. But I know you do separate 45-minute lift classes. But what do you think the best mix of and with your like being around all of this stuff between lifting and running? Have you found a good mix yourself, and what do you recommend to people?
Yeah, I think that it really depends on your goals. If you are just starting out running, I think it's the perfect mix. Just mixing in a few days and also becoming more endurance because you're right, some cardios are definitely more, or some classes are more cardio based. However, if you are looking to kind of stay in shape or maybe become a long distance runner, I would accumulate probably more runs outside and just kind of come in 2 to 3 times a week for the extra cardio and endurance to build your stamina. But also for me personally, my goal is to build muscle. So I'm definitely more on the lifter side. I take class maybe 4 times a week, and then sometimes I'll do a little bit of both. But also, I think with the classes, it is up to you sometimes how much cardio you are putting in for that certain class. For example, yesterday we ran, of course, or we had the option to run, but I chose to power walk because my goal is to build muscle mass, not typically like break down all the fibers in my legs.
Yeah.
So the inclines power walking them helps me actually build the muscle, which is kind of the same thing as like performing a heavy squat or a heavy deadlift. So I think it all depends on the person and exactly their goals. But there's definitely multiple ranges of ways to do that.
Yeah, that's awesome. I feel like Orange Theory would be so good for like this 40 to 60 range. Like, and I feel like a lot of people are scared away from it. Like ages 40 to 60, maybe they haven't worked out in 5 or 10 years, but there's so many options for them just to do body weight stuff in there, or just to walk on the treadmill or get on the bike. And I think Orange Theory is promoting this lifestyle that does such a good job of getting people healthy, because yeah, the music's loud and like there's high energy if you need it. But if you want to get in there and just better yourself, there's an opportunity for it. And I think that's why one of the reasons I really wanted to get you on an episode is that you guys are promoting something there and at all Orange Theory classes that is positive. It's bettering people's mental and physical health. But what's something you would say to people that are kind of scared to start an Orange Theory class or just start physical health in general?
Yeah. I would say think about the you that you want to be whenever you turn 60 or whenever you turn 70. Think about where you are, your children, how you want to kind of keep up with your grandchildren. I would think about, your genes, any diseases that may run through your family. Because at the end of the day, every class or every step that you walk is somewhat preventing everything that may not go so well towards the end of your life. So I think just reminding them that it's not really about how fast you're going or keeping up with the 20-year-old next to you. It's more so about just growing and being able to sustain a healthier lifestyle, like you said, and being able to be healthy, especially for yourself, but also for those that love you and that want you around longer. So at the end of the day, we kind of Orange Theory ties it into more life, adding years to your lifespan. That's kind of the goal.
Yeah, absolutely. So you talked work goals a little bit with Orange Theory and just kind of moving up and continuing to better yourself. What are some of your personal goals? Like either lifting or running, or just personal goals as a young businesswoman, or just lifestyle goals that you have moving forward?
Yeah. Eventually, years on, I definitely want to own my own gym, whether it be an Orange Theory, whether it be something that I started from scratch. I would love to own my own gym, and get very personal with it. Uh, just just because I really enjoy what I'm doing and I feel like it makes a huge difference. And I found what works for me. I found what hasn't worked for me.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
that was kind of my goal in stepping into the role in the first place. So yeah, eventually I definitely would love to lead on my own.
Yeah, not far away. I want to know a little bit about, and I've only been there for 2 months with my fiance and I want to know a little bit more about Greenville, since you've spent how many years there now? You went to school there, so are you on your 5th year or sixth?
I'm on my 6th year here.
6th year. Okay, I want to know a little bit, because I feel like so many people are moving to either Charlotte or Raleigh or Durham, and I feel like Greenville is such a hidden gem. Just because when the students leave, and that's another question I want to ask you. The students are gone. I feel like it's such a small town right now.
Yeah,
There's
it's
not
so
much,
quiet.
so quiet. There's not much traffic. Like we can get in to eat anywhere whenever we want. What are the best spots in Greenville to go to eat? And I just want to know about Greenville in general, because I mean you've been here for 6 years. I want other people to know about it too. So go ahead.
Yeah. Greenville is like that small town that once you kind of settle in, well, at first you're like, okay, I don't know if this is for me. It may be too small, selective, but then once you settle into it, it's really enjoyable, friendly. Everybody is very just welcoming, which
Good.
is what I really love about it. Everybody kind of gets to know each other. And it's just, for the longest time, I thought about moving back to Charlotte, going back to, the city vibes,
Yeah.
just because that's where the trends are and there's a lot of hype, there's a lot of things to do. However, I think just kind of depends on your vibe, but settling here is more than enough.
Yeah.
There's no need to kind of venture out. Sorry.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I've only been there for 2 months, but I do really, really like it.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, and I know a lot of the people that you coach, I feel like it's like anything else, you have regulars now. And I always see people tagging you on Instagram and like thanking you for helping better themselves. So I want them to kind of learn a little bit more about you. This is called our Fast Five segment. So they're the last 5 questions. You're able to elaborate on them and just answer one. So question number 1, after a long week of workouts, what's your go-to cheat meal or cheat dessert? Anything that you're like, okay, I'm going to splurge a little bit. I had to coach 40 classes this week and I'm just miserable. I need ice cream or whatever it may be.
Yeah. The meal is definitely Chick-fil-A, and the dessert is definitely donuts from Krispy Kreme.
Wow. Yeah, those Krispy Kreme donuts are unbelievable.
Yeah.
Number 2, what's something recently that you've binge watched or binge read if you like movies or books better?
I like books. I was on the Colleen Hoover trend book.
I feel like so is the rest of America too. So
yeah, for a long time. I'm a little over it now, but I definitely binge those.
Favorite actor or actress that you've watched a lot of their movies, or they're kind of like your idol, like you would like to like really meet them if you have the opportunity to?
Oddly enough, I don't have one, but I'll go for a movie. My favorite like saga ever is the Twilight Saga.
Yeah, can't beat
You
it.
could say Edward or Robert Pattinson, Kristen Stewart together.
Yeah, good. Okay, favorite memory so far of being with Orange Theory?
My favorite memory being with Orange Theory. One time, me and another coach threw a 90-minute glow class that was completely full for the first time. And it was just, I don't know, very memorable. I'll never ever let go of it. It was a lot of fun. The most amount of calories I've probably ever seen burned within the hour. So yeah, that's my favorite memory.
I got one more question at the end, but I want to stay on that topic. Is there a different vibe when the class is completely packed? Like, does it make it easier for you to coach when how many people can fit in a class? Is it 25?
So if there are 2 groups, so if it's a 2G class, the capacity is 32. Yeah. If it's a 3G, the capacity is 48.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you had a 48 person class before.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Me and the coach split it, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
That's awesome. Okay, last question on your Fast Five. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Where do I see myself in 5 years? I see myself owning a few assets, not Orange Theory related. I see myself investing a lot of assets and actually seeking the benefits. And possibly here in Greenville with at least 700, 800 members at Orange Theory.
How many members are there now at the Greenville Orange Theory? I feel like and does it differentiate when those kids come back from to college?
Yes. So before maybe May, we had 450. Before COVID, we had 700.
Wow.
And then now we have 420. So
going down 300 real quick.
Yeah, it'll go back up. We're in the process.
Good. Well, hey, I appreciate you taking your time. Thank you so much for this. I'm excited to watch your guys' location keep growing. I'm excited to see you keep doing well. So I appreciate it. Is there anything else you want to tell all the people that you help train or your family or anything? Because we appreciate you taking your time to come on our show.
Yeah, of course. I want to thank you for inviting me on. I just want to say, keep going, keep growing, and do what scares you so that you do.
Absolutely. Well, hey, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Best of luck. I look forward to being miserable at another class soon. So thank you so much. Take care. Happy Saturday, and thanks for everything.
Perfect. Thank you.